Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. My name is Dave Allen and I just want to go through the first part of my training video or my training log for the 7 duathlons in 7 days. Just wanted to give you a little background on this one as to why I'm doing it, what I'm doing, and how I'm getting on. Also, I want to keep you updated as I sort of set myself a bit of a target on this one. I don't know whether I sort of lost my mind during the COVID lockdown or what, but I decided to do 7 duathlons in 7 days in order to help raise money for a local charity. So Wixty Park, which is local to me, went into administration a few weeks back. So I decided to put a challenge together for myself, a bit of a personal challenge, and link it in to try and raise a bit of money for a good cause. Obviously, Wixty Park is quite a big thing in and around Kettering, and it's somewhere I went as a kid and somewhere I take my family now. It's somewhere obviously a lot of other families go as well. So I wanted to do a little bit for that, do what I could. So for that, I decided in my wisdom to do 7 duathlons in 7 days. Now, on this one, I gave myself a completely unrealistic target. Because it was a charity-driven event, I thought I'd give myself a nice, quite a short time to prepare for it. I figured I'm reasonably fit anyway with what I've been doing, and if I could combine a little bit of it together, I'll be okay. So I decided that I would give myself about 3 weeks to train for this. I really do not recommend anyone trying that at all. Obviously, I would never give any of my clients that sort of target at all. I'd expect at least 12 weeks, probably sort of more closer to the 6-month mark, due to the sheer amount of training that really needs to go into it. As basically this log will tell you, I started this out. I decided on the 19th of June I was going to do this event. I set myself a target of the 6th of July to get a nice early start in, beginning of July. And first couple of sessions I felt really tight in the calves. Did a couple of 5k runs, then I did sort of a mini sprint distance duathlon. Recovered well, took 2 or 3 days to recover. Then I went out on another run, felt brilliant, felt really good. Got about 1.5 kilometers into it, so I ran about the mile mark and I felt a pop in my calf. At the time I thought to myself, do I stop and walk home? Do I carry on? I did have quite a big session planned. I decided to carry on. I managed about 6.2, 6.5 kilometers, somewhere in the region of that. Felt uncomfortable, but didn't feel undoable, unmanageable. Jumped on my bike and got about 6 kilometers into that, and the bike broke, so the chain broke, the puncture. It just had enough. On that, it kind of told me that session was over. It didn't quite go to plan, as you can imagine. So luckily, my bike packed in close to my mum's house, so I literally abandoned the bike there and hobbled home through Wixty Park. Got home, iced my leg, and was hobbling around, barely able to walk that evening. Did make me worry a little bit whether I'll be able to carry on and do the challenge, but I didn't really get a chance to rest because I was at the time digging out and laying a patio at my mum's house, sort of whilst I'm in lockdown, whilst this COVID's going on, sort of helping her get her garden round so it's safe for when we come out of this and the kids can go and play. So it needed sort of some work on it. So that's kind of done me a bit of a favour. I was able to sort of strap the calf up and sort of keep on it and keep going. And I think that helped quite a lot. So I took that week off, took about 5 days off training, sort of thought I'd ease into it. On the Sunday, I went for a little 5k run. I basically changed my footwear, got some compression sleeves for my calves, and sort of really thought about my running techniques. I had to change that a little bit as well to take a bit of the pressure off, and sort of eased in, nice steady pace there. Did a couple of laps of the lake at Wicksteeds, which was quite nice. Gave me a good sort of good feeling, good sort of recovery session there. I had a day's rest and went back in, did another run, up the distance a little bit. I went to about 8k on that day. Again, it felt quite good. Didn't want to push it, so I kept the pace steady. Again, as I say, felt pretty good. Now, from this, I had to think about sorting out my bike. So, because of the injury and the fact I was doing it on a mountain bike, which was real heavy and sort of old bike, I had to sort out getting sort of a new bike and decided to go on sort of a trial bike, which when I went out on that, I got that bike on the Wednesday or Thursday, and I jumped straight out on that. So I did on the Thursday 10.5k run. Felt quite nice, felt comfortable. 40k on the bike, just over. That felt okay up to about 30 kilometers. Then it became a massive mental challenge just to get back, because I was starting to feel really fatigued on that one. Got back and managed the 5k run to finish off. Just basically, I wanted to get the distance in. Obviously, I wouldn't expect anyone to do a full distance duathlon when you're recovering from an injury and you haven't ever completed the distance before, and it's been quite a while since you've done that level of training, so I definitely wouldn't recommend it. I got home and felt quite shaky afterwards, tried to replenish, don't know if I sort of rehydrated too quickly, tried to fuel up too quickly, because I felt a little bit sick afterwards for a little while, so I had to sort of stretch out and ease off there. So basically from there, so far, everything I've done, I would not recommend. I would certainly be looking at planning ahead for this if I was to ever get anyone else involved in doing something like this, or if anyone asked me for my advice on it, I would make sure there was plenty of planning, so you can work on mobility work on your stretch work, your cardio. I'd build it up a lot slower. I wouldn't be going anywhere near these sort of distances for a few weeks at least, and I'd then obviously build some strength work for the legs especially, and some core work for that long time you're spending on the bike. So this week, as I say, this last week recovering from the injury has been really good. I've felt really good from this training. I've hit a few good sessions, found a few good routes for the bike, worked out roughly where I'm going to go for my runs, because the 40 kilometers is probably the toughest thing I've had to find route wise. But I'll pin up, you'll see on this video some of my Strava links where you'll have my runs and my bike rides. So what you'll notice is I'm trying to keep a nice steady sort of consistent pace around this. I don't want to go too crazy, because I know if I push myself too hard I will injure myself, because I'm not quite at the level I would like to be for this. But obviously, being a charity event, I'm trying to raise some good money here, trying to get it done reasonably soon. I don't want to leave it for too long. So luckily the charity is going towards has had some really good support from a lot of other people to keep it going. But obviously this video I'm trying to put together sort of to give an insight into what I'm doing, how I'm feeling on it, the outcomes of the training methods really. So as I say, this is just a bit of an intro, a bit of part one of my training log. I've got 5 days left before I'm due to start the 7 duathlons in 7 days, so I'm looking at starting on Monday. I'm hoping to get 3 more sessions in beforehand, so I had a rest day today. I listened to my body. I felt quite achy. I felt fatigued, and I thought I needed to fuel up a little bit because I have dropped near on a kilo in about 4 days. So I'm just having to make sure I'm eating enough. Long and short of this one, guys, I just wanted to give you a heads up, sort of a little update on the event itself. So the 7 duathlons in 7 days, which is basically, for those that don't know, is 10 kilometers run, 40-kilometer bike ride, and a 5-kilometer run to finish off. Now I'm going to be doing one of these every day for 7 days. And I've really only had about 3 weeks worth of cardio training because from about September, October last year, I spent a lot of time doing weightlifting and training that way, not so much time with the cardio. And before that, I'd had a very long time out of any exercise whatsoever. So it's kind of been a bit of a steep curve. I think a lot of this comes down to the lockdown period, having a lot of time on my hands to try and think, try and plan, because I have been trying to plan some new training formats, some new programs and different methods, as well as looking at nutrition and some other, using my time to sort of regain a bit of old knowledge back to go forward, so I can hit the ground running again when the gyms reopen, and obviously keep up to date basically. So thank you for watching, thank you for your support. Hopefully I'll catch you in the follow-up video. I'm going to be putting together video at the weekend once I've done the final 3 days of my training, a little bit more of what I've done, breakdown of how I'm expecting things to go, hopefully, and go from there really. So obviously I'll be doing a lot more videoing of the training session, of the actual run. So I'll be taking the phone out, taking the camera out, so getting some footage while I'm running, giving a bit like regular updates sort of on a daily basis, just to see how I'm getting on. And then obviously I'll collate it all at the end, and you'll see sort of 7 days with the duathlons, how that's had an effect on me. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.